All right, everybody, welcome back here. And we are taking a brief little halt on Carcass for today because, of course, as promised, we're looking at the new Metallica album, 72 Seasons. And, the album cover choice was pretty strange. I like the bright, yellow cover and the cool little M right there. Hell, I think it would have been badass if it just had, all yellow and just that or something. Even though that would be really simple, it'd be kind of like the Black Album, right? But just the baby crib's kind of weird. Um, but yeah, I've kind of had some issues with this album cover for for the whole brunt of the whole thing, right? Because even the singles that were coming out, their covers were looking way freaking cooler. But it's not the worst album cover I've ever seen, right? But it and again, I like the color choice. They don't really have a yellow looking album, so that it's pretty cool and it stands out. But just the kind of the crib and all this stuff, it's a little weird. And I get it kind of fits the theme of the album or whatever, but to me, a little bit weird. And we've got kind of some, the way it's packaged is a little strange, right? Because it doesn't show me the track listing on the back here, so I have to open this thing up, right? And it folds out like this. Kind of crazy. And you get a booklet and you get the CD here. So I'm just going to pull out the CD and read the tracks from there. I'll lay it right here. Kind of crazy. I would much rather, it seems like there were a lot easier ways to do that, right? But here we are having to unfold this thing. I like, some kind of extravagant packaging and stuff from albums, but come on, that's a bit much here. Makes it kind of, and it also kind of makes it complicated to get back in this thing here. There we go. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, super hyped to be talking about this thing. And you got solid production, probably their best production in a while. As far as that goes. You're very clearly hearing Robert Trujillo on bass, it seems, for the first time, right? Crazy that it took that long to really... not that you couldn't hear him on some of these other albums, but here you can really... It's like he clearly has a role in the band here. But, anyways, we'll just kick this thing right off here with the opening track. A good 7-minute and 39-second one. 72 Seasons, the title track. And I gotta say, this one's grown on me. I liked this single when it first came out. But the more I've listened to this album all the way through, I just think it's a great choice for an opener. Usually you think, a quick 3-minute opener would be good. I think Lux Eterna, which is, pretty short track, pretty quick burst, would have been a good opening track as well. But this one, actually... it really sets the tone and sets the stage for the album. I love the melodies going on in the verses. Really, really hooky stuff. Badass riff. It's one you can just straight up headbang along to. Love the chorus. The 72 seasons gone. And then the little drum crashes and then back to that riff. Got some cool breakdowns, badass solos. It's just some classic Metallica, classic kind of, I say classic, right? But I mean more like, classic late 2000s Metallica and 2010s Metallica, right? It really follows that kind of feel. Of course, like I said, with better production, but great song with 72 Seasons. Then we go with, in which I would say, I'd go ahead and say 72 Seasons, that track is one of my favorites off here. And so is this next one here. Shadows Follow. Man, this one has just kept rising the ranks for me as far as my favorite tracks go. Just the heaviness of this one. Those verses are really what gets me. Just the way James is singing here, which he sounded really good on this album. But he, the way the verses are sang and kind of just the flow of the lyrics and the melody is just so freaking cool, and it just gets you, bopping your head, banging your head. And then I love the chorus, and I love the kind of the stop at some points, and they're like, I will come, or what does it say? Like, still I run, or something. Then still my shadows follow. I might run, still my shadows follow, and just kind of the quick, slams on the drums and the pumping the brakes on there at moments really quick just makes for a really cool little time signature there. For that particular part of the song, just love that one. That one's been on repeat for. Of course, I've listened to the album several times now and feel like I've got a pretty good grasp of my thoughts on it here. But Shadows Follow, just that one has been. If I'm just going to pick a song off there, man, that one has been picked a lot. Then we go with another one of the singles. It's probably my favorite of the singles that came out, and one of my favorites off here, "Screaming Suicide." Love the opening to this, and I love that riff. And it's got kind of a dark edge to it in these verses, instead of like James is kind of having like a gruffer vocal at this part during the verses there, and I love the chorus of this one is just badass. Everything kind of comes to a halt. Keep me inside. My name is Suicide. Just incredible stuff. One of my favorite solos from Kirk on the whole album. I think he knocks his solos out of the park, more so than he has in quite a while on this album, and just that song. And again, "Screaming Suicide" is one of my favorites off here. That is kind of that one is definitely going to be one to remember off of here. And whenever that single dropped, I was like, okay, now we're getting into some really good shit. And man, just "Screaming Suicide," top of the barrel for Metallica for me. Love it. Then we go with "Sleep Walk My Life Away," which is almost a 7-minute track, a couple seconds shy of that. And this one, the bass on it, man, Robert Trujillo is just going at it, man. You are hearing the bass. He's got a role in this. It's about it seems like it's like the first time he's really like a significant role besides, just kind of playing background noise. So it's really good to hear him. Just absolute badassery. And I love the lyrics. I love the kind of the message it's giving across, like how you sometimes get caught up in life and it feels like we're just sleepwalking our life away, right? But really freaking cool song. That one's definitely grown on me as well. A lot of these kind of seem to do that. It's kind of like a situation where the more listens I've had, the more they've kind of sunk their teeth into me. Then we go with "You Must Burn." Really solid one here. That's what a good 7 minutes. So I'm digging the length on these, right? I love them lengthy ones, which later on at the closing we'll see a really lengthy one. "You Must Burn's really cool. Love the chorus. Really hooking. I like that lick that's done in the chorus too. Lars is drumming on this one as well as the whole album is pretty damn solid. It ain't like his drumming from the 80s and that kind of prime state of Metallica, or it doesn't have quite that thick sound like it did on the Black album or anything, but it's a good sound. He does solid. And I just, this song "You Must Burn," he does a damn good job at it, and I just really dig really dig the chorus in that one. Really hooky one. And I like kind of it's cool, kind of reminds me of almost like not a Merciful Fate song, but like something that Merciful Fate would be singing about. Like the witches burning. Just so it was kind of cool. Maybe it was their little homage to them or something. I don't know, but really cool song. Then we go with "Lux Eterna," probably the quickest one on here. What, 3 minutes 22 seconds? And at first, because this was the first single they dropped, and I wasn't a fan. Right, I didn't hate it, but I was like, kind of weird. Like it just because I don't really know. It was maybe just the kind of the style. It just seemed so different from their last album, which was just balls to the wall heavy. Hardwired was. And I was also, when that single dropped, I'm pretty sure I was in like some of their heavy stuff during our review process. Or some of their I think I was into at Hardwired, Death Magnetic, or something like that, right? But really cool song that's grown on me. Like I love the verses are really hooky. The chorus is kind of it's all right, kind of repetitive or whatever, but it's cool. But I love the full speed or nothing. That's a really cool part, and kind of the build up to the chorus and everything. But those verses are really, I mean, it's just got a good groove to it. Then we go on to Crown of Barbed Wire, kind of a doomy sounding one. It kind of reminds you of Sabbath a little bit, which is crazy. Saying that maybe that Metallica's sounding, you got some kind of Black Sabbath vibes going on, but this one definitely has it going. Really, really cool song. Just a dark track. Totally digging Crown of Barbed Wire. That one I feel like too is just going to continue to grow on me there. Then we go on to Chasing Light, another solid one that's kind of deep cut in the midst of some of these other ones here. That I really like the vibe of this one's giving off here in the chorus. It would be kind of towards the lower section of my as far as my favorites on this thing go. Not my least favorite. I would say that goes to one coming up here in a few, but I mean it's a good song. I don't have any issues with it. It's just not one of my favorites off here. Oh, this next one though, If Darkness Had a Sun, man, that is a freaking epic. That's a Metallica classic to me now. When that single dropped, man, I love the barbaric sound of this one. The drums beating and hammering away. Lars is killing it, and that riff is so damn sick. Oh man, heavy stuff. And I love the temptation, yelling that. Really freaking cool. And the chorus is great. Everything about this one is just absolute Metallica badassery. That sounds like something that would possibly be off the Black Album to me. Because, it's not like super fast and thrashy like stuff prior to the Black Album. But like it's got that heavy hitting sound, that barbaric sound. It's a song with a freaking purpose. If Darkness Had a Sun is one of my top like 3 off here. Great choice for a single off here, and just a fantastic song. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Then we go to Too Far Gone. That one is one of my least favorites off here as well. The chorus is kind of it's kind of repetitive as well, and not as it's not a standout. And again, it's not a bad song. So I'm glad to say that all the songs off here I dig it. Great album, right? But that one is definitely one I wouldn't come back to very often at all. It ranks kind of in the lower tier, really, of this album. And the one after, Room of Mirrors, another solid one, but it's kind of one that doesn't stick out too much to me as well. That one might be my least favorite. Really, Too Far Gone and Room of Mirrors those two are probably my least favorites off here. But they're good tracks, solid enough. But man, this ending here that comes in 11 minutes and 10 seconds. Inamorata, however you say it, Inamorata, man, what a freaking amazing track. Possibly my favorite off here. The verses are sick. You got that great flow that a lot of these other tracks have had. You get really cool lyrics, great chorus. But man, that breakdown, you got some progressive elements on this one here with it being 11 minutes. Break down some powerful stuff. You get a slow, kind of, it really reminds me of something off like Master of Puppets. Like having this like kind of slow down, breakdown moment, which they really did a lot of on Death Magnetic as well. It really sounds like it could be something ripped right off Death Magnetic, which, as you guys know, I love. But man, it just very powerful stuff. Then it kicks back in, and we're right back to it. It was just some heavy hitting Metallica closer. One of my favorites off here. A fantastic closer. Man, that song is just got the goosebumps just thinking about it, man. That whole epic drama. I love when they do those, man. That's what makes me love, Injustice for All and Master of Puppets. Some of those more progressive ones that have a lot of depth to them. And Inamorata is one of those for sure. So yeah, fantastic album. I know a lot of people have been saying it's decent or whatever. Some people have kind of shit on it, but that's the fun thing. You kind of get to hear perspectives all over the board with this thing, and I really would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. I was super hyped. Went and picked it up, right the day it dropped at Walmart there, and just was super hyped. Popped it right in the CD record player, all in one combo thing I got over there. Right when I got back off work, and just had a blast listening to it. And again, I just keep popping it back in, man. And even when I'm driving to work, turning that thing on, just I've had a blast with this album. A great thrash release for this year. Great release just overall for this year. Super hyped about it. I think it lived up to the hype. It really exceeded my expectations because, after, like I said, I kind of had mixed feelings about Lux Eterna, that first single that dropped, and I'm like, But even that song, I've grown to love it. And then, so my expectations were kind of low whenever I was having mixed feelings about that album. But now it's like, man, it blew me away. I've been having a freaking blast with this album, and it's going to be pretty hard to rank. So that's what we're going to be doing coming up is doing the updated ranking. I know we didn't do the other ranking too long ago, but hey, whatever. We'll just update them, and I've already kind of had some possible switching up on from that list, right? That's crazy how that stuff works, but yeah, super excited to see where this ranks. I've been thinking on it, and we're gonna get to the bottom of it and see where it ends up landing there. But I would love to see again your guys' thoughts. We could chat about this album. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you giving it, like an average rating? Because I've heard things all across the board. I, for one, love it. Think it's a great Metallica album. Very, very cool stuff. And especially I can't wait to see where you guys rank it amongst their storied discography once we do that ranking video next time. So guys, like, subscribe, comment, and let's talk about this thing down there. Thanks.